Alright, so welcome again to the chapter 9 of IT 01. So in this chapter, we will discuss the introduction to cybersecurity. Once again, my name is Mr. Carl Sese, and I will be instructor for this subject for this trimester. Alright, so we have three objectives for this chapter. The first objective is to discuss the importance of cybersecurity. Second is to identify the goals of cybersecurity. And lastly is to discover the different types of cyber attacks and attackers. So I hope you're ready now, class. So let's start discussion. So cybersecurity is primarily about people, processes, and technologies working together to encompass the full range of threat reduction, vulnerability reduction, deterrence, international engagement, incident response, resiliency, and recovery policies and activities, including computer network and operations, information assurance, law enforcement, etc. So cybersecurity is a protection of internet connected systems, including hardware, software, and data from cyber attacks. So cybersecurity comes from two words. So first word is cyber is related to the technology which contains systems, networks, and programs or data. Next is security related to the protection which includes system security, network security, and application and information security. We can also define cybersecurity as the set of principles and practices designed to protect our computing resources and online information against threats. It is the body of technology, processes, and practice designed to protect networks, devices, programs, and data from attack, theft, damage, modification, or unauthorized access. It may also be referred to as information technology security. So why is cybersecurity important? Especially nowadays, class, that our information, our data is uploaded on the internet. We live in a digital era which understands that our private information is more vulnerable than even before. We all live in a world which is networked together, from internet banking to government infrastructure, where data is stored on computers and other devices. A portion of that data can be sensitive information, whether that be intellectual property, financial data, personal information, or other types of data for which unauthorized access or exposure could have negative consequences. So let's discuss the history of cybersecurity. So the origin of cybersecurity began with research project. It only came into existence because of the development of viruses. So because of Robert Thomas or Bob Thomas in 1970s, Bob Thomas, who was a researcher for BBN Technologies in Cambridge, Massachusetts, created the first computer worm or virus. He realized that it was possible for a computer program to move across a network, leaving a small trail or series of signs wherever it went. So he named the program Creeper and decided to travel between 10x terminals on the early ARPANET. So printing the message, I am the Creeper, catch me if you can. So Creeper is the first computer virus. So if we have the first computer virus, an American computer programmer named Ray Tomlinson, the inventor of email, who was also working for BBN Technologies at that time. He was saw this idea and liked it. He think with the program and made it self-replicating, the first computer worm. He named the program Reaper, the first antivirus software which would found copies of Creeper and delete it. So after Creeper and Reaper, cybercrimes became more powerful. As computer software and hardware develop, security breaches also increase. With every new development came an aspect of vulnerability or a way of hackers to work around methods of protection. In 1986, the Russians were the first who implemented the cyber power as a weapon. Marcus Hess, a German citizen, hacked into 400 military computers, including processors at the Pentagon. He intended to sell secrets to the KGB, but an American astronomer, Lee Forstall, caught him before that could happen. In 1988, an American computer scientist, Robert Morris, wanted to check the size of the internet. He wrote a program for testing the size of the internet. This program went through networks, invaded Unix terminals, and copied itself. The program became the first famous network virus and named as Morris worm or internet worm. So nowadays, class, viruses were deadlier, more invasive, and harder to control. We have already experienced cyber incidents on a massive scale, and 2018 isn't close to over. The above is to name a few, but these attacks are enough to prove that cybersecurity is a necessity for corporations and small businesses alike. So for the lesson 2 class, cybersecurity goals. So the objective of cybersecurity is to protect information from being stolen, compromised, or attacked. So cybersecurity can be measured by at least three goals. First goal is to protect the confidentiality of data. Second, preserve the integrity of data. Lastly, is to promote the availability of data for authorized users. So these goals from the confidentiality, integrity, availability, CIA Triad, the basis of all security programs. The CIA is a security model that is designed to guide policies for information security within the premises of an organization or company. So the CIA Triad confidentiality. Confidentiality is roughly equivalent to privacy and avoids the unauthorized disclosure of information. Two tools for confidentiality, encryption, access control, authentication, and authorization. I'm sorry. So next is the integrity. Integrity refers to the methods of ensuring that data is real, accurate, and safeguarded from unauthorized user modification. It is the property that information has not be altered in an authorized way and that source of information is genuine. So tools for integrity is backup, checksums, and data correcting codes. Next is the availability. Availability is the property in which information is accessible and modifiable in a timely fashion by those authorized to do so. It is guarantee of reliable and constant access to our sensitive data by authorized people. So the three tools for availability two, is physical protections and computational redundancies. So next, after the CIA triad, we will discuss the different types of cyber attacks and attackers. A cyber attack is an exploitation of computer systems and networks. So it uses malicious code to alter computer code, logic, or data and lead to cyber crimes such as information and identity theft. So the first type of attacker is the web-based attacks. So for the web-based attack class, for the web-based attack, these are the attacks which occurred on a website or web applications. Some of the important web-based attacks are as injection attacks, DNS spoofing, session hijacking, phishing, brute force, denial of service, dictionary attacks, URL interpretation, file inclusion attacks, and man-in-the-middle attacks. Next attacker is system-based attacks. These are the attacks which are intended to compromise a computer or a computer network. Some of the important system-based attacks are virus, worm, Trojan horse, backdoors, and bots. So next one is the cyber attackers. In computer and computer networks, an attacker is the individual or organization who performs the malicious activities to destroy, expose, alter, disable, steal, or gain unauthorized access to or make unauthorized use of an asset. Next one is the cyber criminals. So cyber criminals are individual or a group of people who use technology to commit cybercrime with the intention of stealing sensitive company information or personal data and generating profits. So select computers as their target. In this, they attack other people's computer to do cybercrime, such as spreading viruses, data theft, identity theft, etc. Next one is the use of the computer as their weapon. In this, they use the computer to do conventional crimes such as spam, fraud, or illegal gambling. And lastly is the uses of computer as their accessory. In this, they use the computer to steal data illegally. Next one is the hacktivists. So hacktivists are individuals or groups of hackers who carry out malicious activity to promote a political agenda, religious belief, or social ideology. If we have the hacktivists, we have the state-sponsored attacker. State-sponsored attackers have particular objectives aligned with either the political, commercial, or military interests of their country or origin. And lastly is the insider threats. So the insider threat is a threat to an organization, security, or data that comes from within. So the three types of this are malicious, accidental, and negligent. So this is the last part of the chapter 9. So I hope we meet all the objectives and you understand our lesson well. So see you on the next video and thank you for your listening.
For more ICCT College's video updates, please subscribe and click the notification button.